Coming up.
I've just made an animation with a horse doing a massive wee.
The vast oceans.
I'm rambling here, Sam. Save me. Not narration all the way through.
Because I used to do an impersonation of Droopy.
Whoop, whoop.
To get the extra effect, I would pull the cheeks down as far as they would go.
I'm pulling up my cheeks at the moment and I can't get them to droop.
She needs a wee, it's fine.
Why would they have got me to do that? That would have been weird, wouldn't it?
As I said it, I thought that myself.
The crack that keeps on cracking.
It's deep.
I'm back in the room.
It's complicated enough this way.
So yes, that's good. Well, lovely.
And now, enjoy the podcast.
How do you say that?
How do you say that?
How do you say that?
How do you say that? Hello and welcome to today's episode of How Do You Say That, sponsored by Voxbox. I'm here with Sam Boffin.
Hello, and I'm here with Mark Rice.
Indeed you are. And this week we are, of course, chatting to a very special guest as we have some fun with scripts and explore the world of voiceover.
Yes, that sounds a bit highfalutin, doesn't it? So if you are a voiceover, a podcaster or a director, or perhaps you just like listening to people read scripts out loud, you fool, then welcome to How Do You Say That?
Now, today's fun fact about Sam is that she... Get this. It's too much information, this one, Sam.
TMI.
She likes to be on the edge of a wee when she's performing and voicing.
Yes.
Does that mean you drink a lot of water?
Obviously, yes, I drink a lot of water, but I like the sense of excitement and drama. I know it sounds ridiculous, but it does. It keeps me on my toes, and I like that kind of For some reason, it was something that I used to do, on stage. Mm-hmm. I used to always go on stage slightly wanting a wee, like I am now, right now.
The question I really want to ask is: has it ever backfired?
No, of course not. No. It's slightly irritating in a long voiceover session because the on the edge becomes more pressing.
Of course it does.
So I usually have to excuse myself, but that's fine. Anyway, moving on to Mark's fun fact. Now, this week, Mark drove from Gatwick to mid-Wales through the night on no sleep. And survived.
Well, I was on holiday and then we got back late to Gatwick and then I had to be at the Royal Welsh Showground for the Royal Welsh Show a couple of weeks ago at some stupid o'clock hour. But the thing about weeing's interesting because...
we're not going back to weeing.
Yeah, we are, because actually I stayed awake in the car because I was uncomfortable and I think I stopped and had like 5 wees along the way, but woke myself up on this 4-hour journey through the night.
Nice.
Let's get to our special guest, shall we, quickly?
Yes,
because we're talking today to voiceover Tom Hillenbrand. Hello, Tom. I'm really hoping that your fun fact is about weeing as well.
Hello. Well, it could be. Very much could be. I've just made an animation with a horse doing a massive wee.
Oh, brilliant.
Oh, amazing.
Great stuff.
Oh, it's just amazing how it comes together, isn't it, really?
Isn't it? It's like as if we knew. All right, let's find out a little bit more about Tom, shall we?
Yes. So Tom started out voicing for his own and his fellow students' films at college, both animation films and live action films. And he studied graphic design there and specialised in film and animation.
He works in various genres of voiceover, including live simultaneous interpretation in cinemas, commercial, corporate, e-learning, radio comedy and animation. He used to be a comedian and part of the double-act Hitchcock's Half Hour, but isn't as funny anymore. I'm not sure that's true, Tom. You strike me as a funny guy. Have you got a fun fact for us that isn't about weeing?
Yes, I have very elastic cheeks, and when I was in the double act, I used to stretch them on stage every time we were on stage because I used to do an impersonation of Droopy.
So it would sound like this, and to get the extra effect, I would pull the cheeks down as far as they would go.
I love
that. But there's a promotional photo of us when I'm stretching my cheeks out, and my double act partner Neil Cole would say that was my catchphrase. Because it didn't actually have a catchphrase.
Rather than a catchphrase, I love that.
How did you discover you could do this with your cheeks, Tom?
I don't know, but it also allows me to do this noise.
Wow.
Can I have a go at that?
Yeah.
No good.
No,
good.
And I know I can't do it. I'm pulling up my cheeks at the moment and I can't get them to droop. Like that. That's so cool. That's so cool.
Do you know what? Everybody listening is pulling at their cheeks now. I can envisage it right the way around the world.
Yeah, one day the wind will change and it won't go back. So, right, and on that note, let us have a look at our first script of the show and ask, how do you say that?
How do you say that?
Okay, this first script is something I worked on recently. It's all about gold. Yeah.
Hooray.
It's
Gold.
a corporate for a gold mining operation, basically, in Australia.
Wow.
So they were creating a corporate film, so it's all quite high-end, is all I would say.
Yes, and how long was it?
It's about 4 or 5 minutes in total. Not narration all the way through. Lots of beautiful pictures about gold being mined and made and stuff like that.
Feels a bit documentary-ish.
Yes, and it was done in that style. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, that's what struck me when I first read it. I thought at first it was a documentary, then I reread the first line. I thought, actually, no, this is for a client, isn't it?
Yeah.
And
I think that really gives it away, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Absolutely, yes, the opening sentence does. Yeah, you're absolutely right.
Did they want you to do it in an Australian accent?
No. And I think very much this was for the British gold buying market.
Right.
To be fair.
That would have been so cool, sort of, yeah.
Why would they have got me to do that? That would have been weird, wouldn't it?
It would
A
have.
whole sort of real character thing.
So, Sam, any more questions before you have a go?
No.
Well, that was very trepidatious, that note, wasn't it?
She needs a wee. It's fine.
I need to, yeah, sorry, I've got to go.
Are you hopping one leg to the other yet?
Ha, 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 ha. Wish I'd never told you. Right, okay. Let's have a little go. Here is our gold mining operation on Australia's richest goldfield. Under and around this city is one of the largest gold deposits in Australia. 10 million ounces, 311 tonnes of gold. The source of the gold vein was very special. Gold fluids rose from deep in the Earth's crust towards the surface, filling giant east-west cracks in the granite. These cracks are up to 5 kilometres long and kilometres deep. Our geological studies and drilling have defined a gold resource of 23 million tonnes of rock containing 14 grams of gold per tonne.
I like that. You did it very documentary style, and I really like that. I would choose whether you're going to go with kilometres or kilometres.
As I said it, I thought that myself.
Did you?
And
you flipped in your brain at the time.
I did, and I thought, need to actually ask. Or be consistent.
I think it's about being consistent, and I think I did kilometres.
Yeah.
There's an inconsistency in this script. Did you spot it?
Because it says KMS first, and then it says kilometres as a spelt-out word.
No, I wasn't thinking that necessarily. I was thinking, about depth and length, because they say 5 kilometres long, and they don't specify the depth at all. So you've got to kind of think, how am I going to do that second kilometres where they don't specify the number?
That's slightly threw me. What threw me more, actually, was some of the punctuation.
Yes, it is a bit all over the shop, isn't it?
Yeah, bitty, the punctuation.
But Sam, you ignore punctuation anyway in everything you do. How's that a problem?
Ha ha. Yes, well, not always, but yes, it's. I just didn't want a full stop in one of the places. I just wanted to. But anyway, but apart from that, yeah.
I liked it. I'm going to say when you get to the source of the gold vein was very special, it becomes a bit more cinematic than that. It's bigger than that. And when I say it looked high-end, that's what I mean. It looked bigger and the voiceover was bigger than that, which is probably why they came to me. I don't know.
Okay, so there's a question as to whether you let the visuals do the heavy lifting or whether you heavy lift with your voice.
This is true. I think they wanted a bit of both. I think they wanted the depth of the visual to match the depth of the voice.
Yep. And the music, did you have the music?
I didn't have the music. I mean, I saw the finished thing and it was beautifully done.
Yeah.
It looked, I tell you what it looked like. It looked very expensive.
Wow, okay.
And the thing is, if you're talking about gold and you're talking about goldfield and you're talking to British gold buyers, I guess that's exactly the feel that you want.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I will take that. I was a bit one note, I think, is what I'm taking out of that. And I think you're right, absolutely.
Does that give you any more clues, Tom?
It does.
Marvellous.
Excellent. Why don't you have a go then?
OK. It's my moment to shine like gold.
Like gold indeed, absolutely.
Here is our gold mining operation on Australia's richest goldfield. Under and around this city is one of the largest gold deposits in Australia. 10 million ounces, 311 tonnes of gold. The source of the gold vein was very special. Gold fluids rose from deep in the Earth's crust towards the surface, filling giant east-west cracks in the granite. These cracks are up to 5 kilometres long and kilometres deep. Our geological studies and drilling have defined a gold resource of 23 million tonnes of rock, containing 14 grams gold per tonne.
And that's the other complicated bit at the end, isn't it? It doesn't say 14 grams of gold per tonne. Right. It says 14 grams gold per tonne. I think I may have... You put in an of, Sam. I think I may have done, actually. Because that's one of those script writing things. I liked that. It was quite light, that Tom. It was lighter than I thought you were going to go with it, to be honest.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah, I wanted to get sort of more up and down, with the prosody, because as you're saying, it sounds like the gold is coming out from underneath. So I thought if I start off low with that sentence, then it's rising to the Earth's crust, sort of raised towards the end of that sentence. Yeah. But as you mentioned, Sam, about the punctuation, where it says filling giant east-west cracks in the granite, it doesn't feel like there should be a full stop after surface. It should just go straight into filling.
It's a change of picture.
Yeah.
And there was a pause there in the film.
Right.
Yeah, that makes sense.
I guess if I hadn't been sent it like that, it may have been in a different paragraph entirely.
Right.
It was sent like this, but in effect, it was a different thought.
Okay, so that's really interesting, because sometimes when I want to give scripts more flow, I take out the punctuation that they've given me and I make it into a piece of prose like you've got there. Mm-hmm. I think in this instance I'd have done the opposite.
I mean, I thought they were both lovely reads, and I would have gone, except you both made it sound smart, gold, high-end. Mm-hmm. And that's good, because this is a high-end script.
Yeah. Absolutely. I'd be fascinated
to try and remember how I did it now.
What you did with it.
This is always the difficult bit, Sam, isn't it? It's like, it's a job you've done. It's like, how did I do it? Now I've listened to 2 other people do it. All right. Here is our gold mining operation on Australia's richest goldfield. Under and around this city is one of the largest gold deposits in Australia. 10 million ounces. 311 tonnes of gold. The source of the gold vein was very special. Gold fluids rose from deep in the Earth's crust towards the surface, filling giant east-west cracks in the granite. These cracks are up to 5 kilometres long and kilometres deep. Our geological studies and drilling have defined a gold resource of 23 million tonnes of rock, containing 14 grams of gold per tonne.
Nice, I see.
I think in the real thing, I breathed a bit more in that final sentence. I was kind of running out a bit there.
Yeah. I can see, I can absolutely see.
You see the cinematic style?
You gave it real oomph, I think, sort of about 3/4 of the way in there.
Yeah.
Like when the gold fluids rose up from there on.
You can kind of see it bubbling, can't you?
Yeah.
No, absolutely. It was a very different read from either Tom's or mine.
Now, interesting that I didn't do it to music, because you can on a read like that, you can imagine the swell of the music.
I was going to say, you made the most of that kilometres deep. Yeah, absolutely.
When I first got that script, I asked that same question. Have you missed the number out? Is it like 2 kilometres deep?
It's
the
deep.
Vast oceans,
The vast oceans of gold. Yes. The crack that keeps on cracking.
Well, on that note.
Play, how do you say that?
It's worthwhile remembering that these are real scripts we've been working on, but we've changed names and some of the details to avoid copyright issues.
Yes, we have indeed. So, Tom, can you tell us about your script, which is actually very different, but I think still quite high-end?
Yes, this was a radio advert for a travel agency. I received the email and was asked to return the recording within the same day, having never spoken to the man before who sent me the email. So that was interesting. But
to be honest, I mean, as voiceovers, we do get asked that a reasonable amount. It drops in your email, and did you get any more direction than that particularly?
Not really. They just said they wanted it light and conversational.
Okay.
But that was about it, really. But again, it was self-directed, so I just sent it off, and he said he was happy with it. So that was good.
Excellent. Well, that's always a good way. How many takes did you give them?
Maybe 3.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because there are probably 3 or 4, if not more, different ways of potentially doing this, Sam, I think, aren't there?
Yeah, no, absolutely. But I mean, because Tom, you've got such a good sense of humour. Did you do one with a lot of humour in one of the takes?
I'm not sure that I did, actually.
Oh, really?
I think I did add a little bit. And there's one line about halfway down, which obviously I'm not going to say yet because you're going to read it first.
Geez, you would give it away.
Yeah.
So a standard radio commercial. So again, 30. It's quite tight for 30. This, I think, looking at it. Mm-hmm. So it's got a pace to it.
Yeah.
Sam's favourite.
My favourite. But I will hear you do it first, so that will reassure me that I won't. Yes, exactly. That'll reassure me.
All right, I'll have a go. Holidays. Think holidays. All right. Some folks love a holiday where they do nothing. But if you have the spirit of an explorer, Travelglobe from Sadlers Travel have been leading the way in escorted travel for over 70 years. Don't lift a finger. We organise everything from the flights and accommodation to authentic experiences and flavours. Extraordinary adventures await with Travelglobe. Another brilliant holiday idea from Sadlers Travel.
Lovely. It felt so quick.
It did feel quite quick.
It is quite quick, isn't it?
Didn't it feel quick? Yeah, in the middle. I would argue
that
it is slightly overwritten in that sense, because I don't think that the listener would have the chance to hear all those things. Mm-hmm. Did it feel that quick when you were doing it, Tom?
No, I think I did it a little bit slower.
Okay.
Right.
Yeah, as I say, it's quite wordy, so you do want to, you kind of want to get through it. Although, if you're on holiday, you want to take your time, don't you?
Well, yes, there wasn't any taking the time there. I tried to do with the end line, another brilliant holiday idea from Sadlers Travel, as an end tag. I tried to make that come across as an end tag, so sounding slightly different. I don't know whether I hit that or not.
Yeah. Well, yes, you did, absolutely. And I wonder if they use that tag.
Probably on every
on all of them. I
commercial.
Wonder. It's a sweet tag, isn't it?
Right, Sam. Okay.
Where
are you going to go with this one?
Where am I going to go with this? Okay, so some folks love a holiday where they do nothing. But if you have the spirit of an explorer, Travelglobe from Sadlers Travel have been leading the way in escorted touring for over 70 years. Don't lift a finger. We organise everything, from the flights and accommodation to authentic experiences and flavours. Extraordinary adventures await with Travelglobe. Another brilliant holiday idea from Sadlers Travel.
Yeah, that was pacey. I bet you felt really uncomfortable being that pace, did you?
No, not really. For me, an exploratory travel thing, I would have preferred to have, to do something a little bit more laid back.
Me too. I would have hoped that with a script like that, with a product like that, they would buy a 60-second commercial and really eke it out, or halve the number of words in there.
Right.
Right, Tom, do you want to show us what you did with it then?
Okay. I'm going to try and remember how I did it. Some folks love a holiday where they do, well, nothing. But if you have the spirit of an explorer, Travelglobe from Sadlers Travel have been leading the way in escorted touring for over 70 years. Don't lift a finger. We organise everything from the flights and accommodation to authentic experiences and flavours. Extraordinary adventures await with Travelglobe. Another brilliant holiday idea from Sadlers Travel.
Nice.
You really went in there with "don't lift a finger."
I liked that.
I like that. Yeah,
I really liked that aspect of it. What I loved was how conversational and relatable you made that.
Yeah.
Do we think it was 30? Because if it was 30, that was fab.
Yeah, absolutely. I'd like to run a stopwatch over that in the edit, but we will not know. For me, that felt like you may have slowed down. That may have hit 30 exactly, and we may have been too fast. But
yeah, I think
for
we
me,
might have been too fast.
It felt slower than what both Sam and I had done.
In a good way.
In a good way. Oh yeah.
I have to say, yeah. And what I loved about it was that you really felt like you were, a guy talking to me about this amazing thing. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. Which sounds ridiculous, but is much more difficult than, I mean, I think mine didn't sound conversational in that way. Mine sounded a little bit glib, comparatively,
That's partly because we try and put too much into it, maybe. and that pulling back is the really difficult bit.
You were a stand-up comedian, or you had a comedy act. Do you think that helps with the relatability?
Well, interestingly, we didn't really talk to the audience that much when we were doing it, because it was more a cabaret thing in a way. We did eventually have to deal with hecklers and stuff, but it wasn't it's like straight stand-up where you're talking directly to the audience. It was more sort of sketches and skits.
Yeah.
Does it exist online anywhere, Tom, so that we can go and see it?
Absolutely not, no.
So yes, that's good. Well, lovely.
Anyway, I should say no more about that.
Say no more. Well, anyway,
Fair.
Of course, we have got to the wild bit card of the show.
Like this. And hate this. Like it and hate it.
Like
and
it and hate
frightened of it and love it and all of that.
How are you feeling about it, Tom?
On the edge of my seat.
On the edge. Well, rather like me then, but for different reasons.
Different reasons, absolutely.
So, Tom, do you want to go first? Do you want to pick one of the scripts and give one of us a new idea?
Yeah.
Yeah. So, actually, Mark, if you do the Australia gold mining one, but imagine...
Right, okay.
Imagine you're wearing a cork hat and you've got to swat loads of flies away as you're reading it.
Whoa.
You want me to do it as Crocodile Dundee, do you?
You do that.
You don't have to do the accent, but just imagine there's a fly in the booth and you're swatting it away.
Oh, okay.
So it's more. So you're more of a character on the in the gold mine, as it were, in the
absolutely. So on the ground, talking
on
about
the ground.
Okay, yeah. Well, that's good motivation. It's like let's see. So more documentary in that respect, because you're kind of presenter of documentary in a way.
Yeah,
anyway,
yes.
That's a thing. So here's our gold mining operation on Australia's richest goldfield. Under and around this city is one of the largest gold deposits in Australia. 10 million ounces, 311 tonnes of gold. Oh, so many flies. The source of the gold vein was very special. Gold fluids rose from deep here in the Earth's crust towards the surface, filling giant east-west cracks in the granite. Can you do something? These cracks are up to 5 kilometres long and kilometres deep. Our geological studies and drilling have defined a gold resource of 23 million tonnes of rock containing 14 grams of gold per tonne. Let's get out of here.
Well done.
Throughout the first bit, it sounded less like flies and more like just farts.
I was imagining. I'll tell you what I was imagining. I was imagining that the flies were landing on my face, close to my mouth, and I was trying to blow them away.
I know, just it sounded like a lot of guffing, but anyway, it was really good.
It genuinely wasn't.
But that was well done. And there was somebody else with you, yeah? The cameraman or something.
Well, I think the cameraman, exactly right, and maybe a PA, exactly.
Yeah.
I tried to definitely not go into Australian so as not to offend our Australian listeners, because we've got quite a few down in Australasia.
Very, very wise.
Wise move.
Yeah.
Maybe add some sound effects of flies going past as well afterwards.
Yeah, very much.
Yes. Okay, so Tom, I would like you to do script 2, your script.
Mm-hmm.
And I'd like you to be a tree specialist.
Oh, interesting.
A tree specialist who's admiring a rather marvellous tree. You're in the middle of a forest, because that's where tree specialists love to be. And you're underneath the best tree in the whole forest. And you're just you're not even breathless with admiration. You're just admiring it. And you're just, you may be talking to yourself. You may be talking to the person that's with you. Who knows?
Okay.
But you're a tree specialist. Just go crazy.
Okay. Not too crazy. Some folks, they love a holiday where they do nothing. Wow. But if you've got the spirit of an explorer, Travelglobe from Sadlers Travel have been leading the way and escorted touring for over 70 years. Don't lift a finger. Now, we organise everything from the flights and accommodation to Authentic experiences and flavours. Extraordinary adventures. Wait, with Travelglobe. Another brilliant holiday idea from Sadlers Travel.
That felt to me like you were talking to yourself, almost like an internal monologue.
I thought so. Were you talking to yourself?
Well, I do that quite a lot, so yeah.
Yes. That felt comfortable.
I like the 70 rings. The 70 rings around the tree. I like that.
I liked the awe you had in your voice for that. Because it's actually, I think, the most difficult scripts to do in the wildcards are the commercials. Because they're written in a very particular way.
Yes.
Yeah.
And they're actually quite difficult to, kind of come at, if you like, from a completely different angle.
Yeah.
So, because they're very selly, usually.
Yeah.
So I really enjoyed that. I really enjoyed your awe and majesty, the majesty of the tree.
Indeed. Sam, I've got an idea for you now, and I'm going to stick with the Travelglobe script, so I'm going to stick with this commercial script. Mm-hmm. I would like this commercial to be advertising the Jurassic Park island. And you are full of awe when you go. Have you seen Jurassic Park, the one with the dinosaurs?
Yes. Yeah, okay. I'll go with that. Yeah, I think so.
But the point is, so you're there at the start.
Yep.
By the middle, you realise you're being chased by a velociraptor. It's on the scent and it's going to eat you unless you get out of there.
Okay. So what am I? I'm a... what's my character?
I think you're explorer going to the island for the first time.
Okay. So I'm looking down at the island of... No, I'm in it because I'm being chased.
On the island.
Okay. All right then. Some folks love a holiday where they do nothing. But if you have the spirit of an explorer, Travelglobe from Sadlers Travel have been leading the way in escorted touring for over 70 years. Huh? Oh, woo! Don't lift a finger. We organise everything from the flight to accommodation to authentic experiences and flavours. Extraordinary adventures await with Travelglobe. Another brilliant holiday idea from Sadlers Travel.
Were you literally running away there at the end?
Yes.
That was great. I really got a picture of you running there. That was good.
You've got the real sense of terror about halfway. When the realisation drops that actually this is not a safe place to be.
It was comedic terror there, wasn't it?
Yeah.
But I'm not sure I inhabited it in the way.
I mean, I think Jurassic Park is probably inhabiting that territory anyway.
Yes.
To be
you're probably
fair.
right. You're probably right.
Well, I liked that. So if you want to run away from velociraptors in the privacy of your own booth as well, we have put the scripts in the show notes so you can have a try yourselves.
Yes, please do have a try. Now, Tom, going back to the top of the show, I want you to explain what live simultaneous interpretation in cinemas is and how in heck did you get into it?
I thought that at the time. Yes, let's find out more.
So the first job I got doing that was either at the Barbican Cinema or the BFI. I think it was the Barbican. So what it entails basically is reading the subtitles off the screen, but performing all of the different characters within that film. So you have to chop and change between, male, female, adult, child, animal, whatever, depending on what's on screen. So you can be doing upwards of sometimes 30 characters.
Wow.
So I have to rehearse that at least once, if not twice, before going and doing it live.
Yeah.
Is it just a performance piece of art? Because surely you can see what's happening on the film, can't you?
Yeah, it's aimed at children who either can't keep up with the subtitles yet or can't read yet. So it's for younger audiences. It used to be when I first started doing it, it would be broadcast live into the auditorium, which would annoy some people because they didn't want that. Particularly parents, they'd want to hear it in the original language.
So foreign films. That's the bit that I wasn't understanding.
Right.
Got you. Wow, that's even more complicated.
But the good thing about this is that people think I'm a genius. I come out of a film, they say, "Oh, you speak Finnish?" I'm like, no. No, I read English off the screen. And you speak Dutch as well? No.
So where are you located in it? Are you literally reading it off a screen like a dub?
So sometimes, I have done it before where I'm actually sat in the auditorium and I have a handheld microphone.
Right.
In fact, I did that once at the Ritzy in Brixton, and the security guard decided that was the best time to come and check the fire exit, and he completely blocked my view of the screen.
No way.
So, so nobody understood what was going on there, myself
So
included.
you're bringing to life the English subtitles.
And they're children, so it needs to be larger than life, yeah?
Sometimes, yeah, it depends on the film. I think when I first started doing it at the BFI, because they would get me to read out, like for silent films, there'd be intertitles. It might be in German, for example.
Right.
But I was specifically told then not to act, just to read it very flat, because the older members of the BFI didn't want you to act because it spoiled it for them. And then I got some feedback from a parent once the following day after I'd done a performance, and he said, "Oh, it wasn't animated enough." And I thought, "Oh, that's really interesting because that's, I've been told to do it a certain way."
Yep.
But yeah, so from then on, I have made them more animated.
I've never heard of this, but what it strikes me as, just when you think you know all of the different genres of voiceover work and performance work capable, another one pops up. That's fascinating.
Yeah. I mean, it is quite a niche one, I think, because I don't know anybody else who does it. And there have been times when I had COVID, I couldn't go in, so I had to record it at home to picture. So that was dubbing in a sense.
Yeah.
But that took so much longer. Than actually,
of course,
than actually just rehearsing and then turning up and doing it. Because if you make a mistake when you're doing it live, which has happened,
carry on, don't you?
You just carry on, yeah.
So you get to watch it a couple of times before you do it.
Yeah. So at the Barbican, for example, I'm in a completely separate room, which is next to the projection booth, and I have a big TV basically in front of me. Whereas previously at the Barbican, I'd be at the back of the cinema and I could hear the applause, I could hear people laughing and all that, and I don't get any of that now, which is just because of the way it's set up.
Wow.
Yeah, I love doing it. It's great.
Exciting thing to do, though. Gosh.
Yeah.
Tom, it's fascinating. Thanks for telling us about that. I knew nothing about that. Tom Hillenbrand's details are in the show notes. Thank you so much. I hope you've enjoyed being on the show.
I've loved it. Thank you very much. Thanks for having me.
Oh, thank you, Tom. And of course, you can also find both the scripts in the show notes. And please do subscribe to the podcast and give us a review on Apple Podcasts.
Oh, yes, if you've enjoyed it, or even if you haven't. Anyway, moving on. That's it for this week. Thanks again to Tom Hillenbrand. And we'll be back next week with more scripts and another voiceover guest when we'll be asking, Tom, this is where we all do the title of the show together, when we'll be asking, how do you say that?
How do you say that?